So hey, welcome to game number 1 here in this best of 3 that we're going to see witnessing for the AEC once again. Morocco here on that blue side, Nigeria here on the red. And now, you know, we didn't get a chance to really break down the draft or what we would see there, but just taking a look real quick, let's catch it up, right? We've got the jungle matchup. We don't have the full assassin matchup. We have a Hayabusa versus an X-Borg in the jungle. But, you know, interesting lineup that we're going to see from Morocco, I feel like, because when you break this down, it almost looks standard, you know, for the most part. But when you look at this, the pacing that they have is actually going to be really good, how they set things up against Nigeria. And on the other hand, you know, it's big quality pickups like the Harith, the Grok that you love seeing as well.
Definitely, you know, for Team Nigeria, I feel like, and it's more of a dive composition. They want to really utilize the cycle of skills here all together when they go for these big team fights, and that's exactly what they're looking for. Big team fights plus a whole lot of mid-prio here. Mid-prio is definitely a top priority as well. Yanasti's walking up. Now the Quad Shadow coming in as well. The last Insanity not there just yet, but the Faraga armor will be melted down. Rockstar Alfie going to be taken out. Super Rival picks up first blood, and it's Morocco on the board early on.
Great first pickup already that they get to deal with. And now, so with that, you know, this is what I was saying, man. You lock in the Hayabusa, you get an early kill. That's already a great start. That already allows you to snowball into the next objective. Turtles up. You know, so these level 4s are going to come online. They're going to get locked those in. Nigeria, on the other hand, they're setting up. I mean, look where Rockstar Alfie is. He's kind of waiting around that area, so he gives the information, but without a level 4, there's not much that he can do. Finally, right here, too, Aizen does get that level 4 now, so still, neither team fully committing just yet, but it looks like they're going to get in that position. They're going to wait for Super Rival, lock in that buff, as they make their way towards that turtle. We'll have to wait, see if we can get a lock in on that. Everybody's there on that top side.
Seems they are fighting. Does seem like, you know, they're already using a lot of skills. Yanasti's actually picking up a kill up top. Now I'm gonna go for the chase. Yanasti's under the turret, tier 1. Might be punished here. It seems like he is able to get the double kill under the turret now, finally. Nigeria on the board, picking up 1 kill for themselves. Dom Dipsy gonna be the one to take that kill for himself. Super Rival, though, taking a neutral objective for Morocco. 3-1 with the neutral objective. This is an amazing lead for a composition with a whole lot of late game power too in Ayato.
Yeah, you know, we get a good look at Ayato there, but yeah, it just, there was a whole lot happening for Morocco. They were able to get that double kill, then the objective on top of it. So for Nigeria, you know, with that, you know, they find themselves a little bit behind, 1,000 gold or so. Big item pickups coming up here too. You can already see it, right? The Corrosive Scythe now locked in for Ayato. We got to see him farm up quite a bit. So he locks in that first item, and then you got the Hunter Strike. There's the Thunderbelt too, pick up for Kenji. So these are the early power spikes, if you will, that we can bring up, you know? Bring it up, talk about the power spikes that they have available to them, and then go from there. Meanwhile, on the other side, Trevor does get the Starlium Scythe locked in on this Harith. So that'll be great for him in trying to battle out these 1v1s against Morocco. And part of that, too, is just kind of containing Ayato, you know, working around the fact that he's got the Spirit of Destruction. He can show up to those fights when he wants. But look at this focus here on the bottom side.
Oh, good rotation over. Vengeance coming down from Kenji, trying to look for the final slash, and they're all out fighting the bottom lane. That's going to be a wild charge defensively. Last Insanity, the chase. Rival going to be punished under the turret. Daddy Hades burning him down. Yanasti's taken out. Despite I'm offended, used up. Ayato coming into the fight again. Kenji with the Vengeance resets, but Big Daddy Hades comes over to pick up a big kill back. And it's a 3-0 response from Team Nigeria.
There you go. There's the response from Nigeria. That's a great response from them at that. And that's why it was so important, you know, pointing out those big item pickups this early on, those first items locking in, gives them that fighting power to respond to that. Because again, that was Morocco. It was like, let's fight here in the bottom side. Let's put the pressure here and make something happen. Well, Nigeria had an answer for it. And that's something you have to keep in mind of. I mean, these are some big pickups here for Nigeria. You can already see it too. Big Daddy Hades gets that immortality. You can see it locked in now. Still working on the rest here. I'm wondering if Don Dipsy has something else too, other than those boots, but the turtle's up now. So they go ahead and rotate for this objective. We're gonna have Morocco start it up, but there's the information. Rockstar Alfie's gonna give it to them. Trevor, not sure if the rest of the team can get here.
2-man final slash coming down. Kenji with the Vengeance, popping in. Trevor walking up to Mod Force. Now Kenji gonna be taken out. There's Big Daddy Hades, picks up the killing spree, securing the neutral objective as well. Don Dipsy on the chase. Trevor together with a dash now, just moving forward. forcing Morocco back. And Nasties utilizing the last insanity onto Don Dipsy. He's already used the black shoes. Trevor with the re-engage, but will not be able to find it. Meanwhile, Ayato the Tornado finding a turret up top, sieging it down and getting a trade for Team Morocco.
Okay, great. Once again, this is a good push and pull. I mean, for a while I was thinking early game Morocco's going to be, dominating this early portion, but it's Nigeria that gives the answers back. They've evened out the objectives in terms of the turtle. So it looks like, wow. All right, it looks like Trevor's just going to get deleted. And you can see that too. Now at the point, Super Rival picks up the Sky Piercer. It's still going to be used. I'm not sure if Rockstar Alfie is going to be able to do much with that. So again, going back to the point here, it's relatively even. Neither team has gotten much to do around the map. There's one turret in favor of Morocco though. But it looks like they're going to get a response now finally for Nigeria. They open that up too. And what we could be seeing here is a equalization for this next and last turtle. And I think that's crucial, Mirka. I think when you get to it, before that first Lord comes up here, once they kind of hit these mid-game power spikes, this is where we really have to pay attention to these lineups, both on how they scale up at the mid-game.
Most definitely. I think for both of the compositions, they have a very strong hold of the mid-game. It comes down to their mid-game power spike here for Team Nigeria and also for Team Morocco. And I think it does put Morocco in a tougher spot now that Super Rival has the Sky Piercer.
Yeah.
It's going to be pressure to go in for a lot more team fights. Kenji going to be engaged on, goes in with the vengeance. Now Super Rival waiting for the moment to actually jump in as the Zaman Force gets popped in. Trevor able to find the Zaman Force. Kenji taken out as Trevor continues this onslaught of damage. Super Rival can only go in for a few shurikens and then backs off. 4-6, it's Nigeria with the lead, and the turtle spawns in 7th minute of the game. This should be the final turtle going to the hands of Nigeria.
Yeah, it should be. I don't think there's much of a response that can happen from Morocco unless Ayano's able to pull something off. Again, he's been farming up quite a bit here, on this Moskov, but it just looks like they're going to be outgunned right now as Nigeria goes. Should be able to secure this, but they might want to fight.
I'm offended. Albert Rostein and Eisen picks it up with the penalty zone, securing the last and final turtle of the game for Team Nigeria this time. So they're leading in turtles 2-1 despite the early lead from Morocco, despite the early snowball as well from Morocco. So great composure here from Nigeria, able to hold their own. And I would say a big part of it has been Rockstar Alfie utilizing the barriers to actually zone Morocco off of these big team fights.
Well, I know what you say about the Grok. You love to see him. There's a reason why he's so valuable in these lineups. And so far, Rockstar Alfie, he's been a rock star, at this point. And hopefully he continues to do that for Nigeria because that's what they have to play around. Eisen also. I don't know if he takes inspiration from the Eisen we know as well, who loves this pick. The Rizzler. There it is. Wild Charge is going to be used.
Two-man Wild Charge are all going to be committing onto Rockstar Alfie, who gets taken out, but it doesn't seem like Nigeria want to participate in this team fight. Decides to back off. They only lose their roamer, who's already died once anyway. Not a big bounty to lose there. And yeah, man, so far for Nigeria, I feel like it's just playing around a neutral objective, but Team Morocco are already going in the bottom lane, engaging under the turret actually. Kenji a bit too aggressive. Ayato picking up the turret right now. His last insanity will be used up. Kenji, great flicker out of the last insanity. The Spear of Misery coming down. Roasting, unable to find the I'm Offended. Great moves from Trevor.
If they got the I'm Offended pull off that would have been huge.
Penalty zone, Albert Rosenstein in trouble. Able to dash out just a few times. The hammer comes down. A lot of damage placed down. Yanasti still able to dash away. Big Daddy Hades controls the wave against Super Rival. Rotating over to the mid lane, finding that turret. Tier 1 Kenji. Oh! Spear of Destruction, finding its mark. Kenji now with a vengeance. Resetting over. Good purify out, but Don Dipsy, despite the black shoes, still unable to escape as Super Rival stays busy up top.
Wow. Okay. And this has been the constant back and forth we've seen from the early game up until this point. And now that the Lord is up, Morocco, with the recent swing they had in their favor, are going to be in a good position to go ahead and start this one up. I'm not sure if Nigeria wants to actually contest this. It might be better that they just give up the first Lord for now. I know it's relatively even in terms of economy, but they would have been out too late, basically. And so that is the Lord secured here for Morocco. Still, Rockstar Alfie gets the information for the team here. They're just securing the objectives, getting the resources. And we'll see where they go from there. Again, it's kind of a struggle when you look at Nigeria's lineup on trying to push the map, trying to open up a little bit, trying to get the space that they need here. But But I would say, you know, their defensiveness when they have to play against these Lords is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think, again, you know, when they have someone like a Lilia the Harith as well, especially considering they got beefy boys up front to tank up a lot of damage, they should still be able to defend this, but it seemed like Aizen was caught earlier up against 3 members in an enemy, or in his own jungle, that now has been taken control of by Team Morocco. So clearing the waves really well, actually, going for the side lanes first, and now deciding to go for the Lord push in the mid lane against Super Rival on the quad shadow. Lord in the mid lane all alone. Is on that turret as Kenji tries to put in some pressure. Final slash connecting. Meanwhile, up top, Aizen going to be engaged upon. Big Daddy Hades still holding on to the Lord. Stopping it, denying it from going in. Ayato, Abyss Walker out away from Rockstar Alfie and Big Daddy Hades. Great defense from Team Nigeria.
Man, that's what I was saying. You know, their lineup.
Under the turret, doing a whole lot of damage. Kenji now with a vengeance as well. Super Rival picking up a killing spree under the turret. That's Yanastis with a penalty zone to try to look for more, but unfortunately, there's no follow-up. But they've done enough to distract them to give Super Rival the time in the side lanes to do work. And that's a lot of work he's putting down, man. That's another tier 2 in the bottom lane.
He's doing work, to say the least. I mean, even Super Rival.
Whoa! Albert Rothstein with an amazing 2-man. I'm offended. Aizen with a penalty zone connecting on the 3, but there's no one there to follow it up. The Nasties doing nasty things to Team Nigeria right now, splashing him with damage as Albert Rothstein with the Yato will just go for the turret. That's a tornado for you. It will stay for a bit. Last Insanity coming out from Big Daddy Hades with the trade back. The Super Rival continues this in the bottom lane. Kenji knocked up together, has the vengeance. The final slash, great Purify out of it. Now with the shadow kill into the back line. Oh, the Sky Piercer almost ticked off the winter crown just there. Trevor able to escape the base now. Targeted down 12 minutes in. Team Morocco secure game number 1.
Faithful Frederick. He's fallen off a little bit, but hey, we're going to see how he works out this time. Let's go ahead and jump in to game number 2. We'll see if Nigeria can even out the odds, take it to game number 3 in this best of 3. Once again, it's the first day that we're kicking it off here for the group stages. It's these 2 teams. Again, there's 8 teams battling it out, trying to get to that playoff spot, and then eventually we find 2 teams from the AEC that will go towards the WEC in Riyadh later this year. That's what they're fighting for here. So early rotations, as we take a look, fall into place once again too. Any emblems that are sticking out here for you?
Not really, you know, it just is the standard emblem here. I would say for Big Daddy Hades, going for the concussive blast. A lot of Fredrins nowadays wants to go for a little bit more sustain coming out. Super Rival coming in now with a puncture. Don Dipsy should be taken out. That's first blood again. As the thorn rolls, a phantom execution, not even necessary. Yanasties on the Kadena, picking up the second kill for Morocco. You can already hear the cheers here in the stadium as Team Morocco picks up a very early 2-kill lead.
Yeah, you know, this is, speaking of Morocco and Super Rival, specifically, this is what happened in the previous game. You know, he was playing the Hayabusa, got an early kill, and now on this time, the Lancelot, he's going to go ahead and grab that this time. So I think this is the game plan, right? This is the game plan for Morocco. Snowball hard, snowball early, and hopefully you get to a point where, you know, you don't allow this durability, sustainability lineup from Nigeria to find its mark, so to speak. So Morocco, you know, a lot of these level 4s not there just yet. Okay.
Phantom execution already from Super Rival, getting rid of the Faraga armor, so that's massive. But this is also the reason why the Jawhead's really good, right?
Yeah.
If you guys noticed earlier, while Super Rival was doing the purple buff, Jawhead was already very busy too in his own jungle, just leashing for the Lancelot and the orange buff. So now he's a level ahead already of this Fredrin.
Okay, Eternal's up. Super Rival's going to pull it out, but of course, Big Daddy Hades is here, and they go in.
Phantom execution, great independent, bringing them all back now. The Minute Fury popped in, but he gets bursted down before he can even fully utilize it. The Dominator's descent, not a threat at all, as Super Rival claims the turtle for free, and little Johnny boy there can't really do much. Don Dipsy's forced back.
Even as the Big Johnny, he can't do too much at all. And that was, again, look at the timing from Morocco. Even with Ayato with the Spirit Destruction coming in for right at the exact moment when Albert Rothstein was like, yeah, we're going to pull the trigger on here and we're going in with the Unstoppable Force. It was all well orchestrated, you know, from Morocco. And
it really was.
Again, this is something that we saw glimpses of in the previous game.
Oh, whoa! An assassination in the mid lane. Super Rival getting rid of his rivals for sure.
Wow. again, that was, I mean, Super Rival alone well orchestrated on this Lancelot here. And, you know, so that's the thing when you go back to it again, if you guys have watched the online qualifier with us, you didn't get to see this team. You didn't get to see this beautiful synergy from Morocco work out really well. Nigeria, I feel like they're just struggling a little bit here, still by the pressure that's put on from Super Rival.
Oh man.
Okay. You know, that's tough. When you are, when you have this tank, any of the tanks, even the Fredrin here, but just the Minotaur alone, and you get poked down like that, a couple shots from Super Rival, that's not going to feel good.
And this is the biggest problem, right, when we're talking about utility jungles in this meta, Naisu. It's the fact that the assassin jungles just clear out the jungle so much faster, and you can already see a 2-level lead here built up by Super Rival. And he hasn't really been invading either. He's just been getting this lead through his own jungle, clearing it much faster. He's technically just better at clearing the jungle. And Big Daddy Hades, at this point, is really going to have to look for some of the kill pressure, try to utilize some of the kill pressure in the lane itself, look for some of the ganks, but even then, it's tough to pick off Ayato, who has a flicker on this Moskov. It's tough to pick off Yanasties with a passive that can get him full HP again, and especially with Albert Rothstein here all around. What's great about Albert Rothstein and how he plays the Jawhead is he's basically just, obviously, aside from his wonderful name here, he plays in the bushes, just waits to ambush anyone, and man, that truly is like the damage of Jawhead in this patch. He can literally deal damage to anyone, and you can't ignore it. Yeah, you definitely can. And it's such a scary initiation too. There you go, and all in again. The rough waves, everything used up. The motivation roar still there. Big Daddy Hades able to sustain back up right now. The Spear of Destruction connects to the back. Great stun over. Dominus to stand on the last Insanity. Super Rival has the timing right, doesn't. Gets blown up. That's a great response from Nigeria in the 5th minute of the game. They lose out on the neutral objective, but at least they're on the board. Good punish. Nigeria had an answer to it. Yeah, you mentioned they lost the objective, but ultimately there was a lot of aggression coming out from Makaro, and it makes sense, right? They have a good lead, but Nigeria at least able to get on the board. Plus, with that, it buys them a little bit more time. They got to allow this to scale up here. Trevor, especially on the Claude, we know how long it can take to build up, to get to that point where you need to be. So he takes some of that turret down. Ayana, though, very aggressive. Should be fine, even in the face of 1 versus 2. But he knows Yanasties is just around the corner. So we'll see if Albert Rothstein can help a part of this, but I don't think they want to overcommit. That's the thing about Nigeria. You did get that little victory earlier on, but take your time with this, and try to get to a position where maybe you could test the next objective and don't let 3 for 3 go in the hands of Morocco. This is already really tough. The fact that for Nigeria, they're going to have to force Rockstar Alfie to constantly be in the bottom side of the map because of this winning matchup. In Ayato, the Moskov up against the Claude. Trevor definitely having a tough time there when he is alone, especially considering there's so much more kill pressure on the side of Morocco in these individual side lanes as well. On top of the fact that you already have a Jawhead and a Kadita here. This is why the Kadita still does really well. You can gain back all of your HP when you do that, using the Oddity just to scout even in a lot of these bushes. Just get that health back at this point. Look at this though. Super Rival gonna push him back. Using the Nightmaric Spawn against him. Yanasti's gonna be caught, still has the Oddity. Despite the follow-up, the rough waves. Able to get him out to safety, but not for Albert Rothstein. He's gonna be caught against 3 members. A big Appraiser's Wrath from Big Daddy Hades to get a kill and to get good setup for themselves. Phantom Execution in the back line. No Dominators is set. Almost an assassination under the tier 1 as Kenji walks up forward. Pops into the Roam Wolf King. And Morocco are able to actually shoo away Nigeria from the neutral objective. Now, with all of that, are they actually going to be able to go ahead and deal with this turtle? Or do they just give it up? They're going to try to keep them together, but he flickers. Oh, with the Thorn Rose Rockstar Alfie taken out by Super Rival. Big Daddy Hades. Nah, I don't think he can do anything about that. I thought he would probably, look for a steal, go for something, but Morocco knows. He's still around the corner, though. Whoa! Good lane. That might be a solo kill. Lethal Ignition proccing. Yeah, Nasties. Picking up a solo kill as a turtle gets picked up by Super Rival. Not much Big Daddy Hades can do with a 2-level disadvantage. Yeah, at this point, you're kind of getting outpaced. Especially, it's Super Rival's maintained the 2-level lead for this game at this point. So for Nigeria, they're seeing the lead now that they have to work against. It's nearly 5,000 gold. Genji now making his way to clear this up. They're going to force Trevor back, too. They just want this turret.
That's going to be fine. That's something that Nigeria also has to worry about too, is just Albert Roasting. If he just decides to go in, initiate, and kind of sacrifice himself, and that's what a lot of these jawheads do.
Okay.
It could be a pickoff, but... Oh, hold on.
Great maneuvers by Albert Roasting here, baiting on the Minas Fury right there, but Kenji's going to be knocked up. Dominator's Ascent coming down. The Appraiser's right there too. Albert Roasting baiting the entire team of Nigeria
200 IQ.
into Super Rival. Ayato with the Spear of Destruction now together with Super Rival. Just jumping under the turret in their own jungle. Nigeria can't even move.
They can't move. They can't play against the big brain of Albert Roasting, able to go in, be the distraction, and get out with his life.
E equals to 2-0.
That's something like that. Pythagorean theorem. Something. AB squared, whatever it is. But at this point, man, Morocco able to get to this position. Now they're going to force it down the mid lane. Oh, they work for it here.
Wow, great ejector coming down. Rockstar Alfie, great rope waves coming down as well. And Yato again, just so consistently on these objectives, staying as objective as he can. And man, Morocco is up by 8 kills and 7,000 gold.
Such a big lead at this point. And so as they wait, the Lord's going to be up here in about 10 seconds. So Morocco with the massive lead they've gotten themselves, they're in a good position to take that objective from them. So if you're Nigeria, you know, what do you do here? That's the kind of question you have to ask. And
yeah,
oh, this could be tough. Rockstar, oh, it's going to get pulled.
Ejector, I'm offended. Now with the Unstoppable Force under the turret. Minas Fury knocking him up though. But still, not going to be enough to fully turn the tides around. Kenji walking back up. And seriously, for Morocco, I mean, even if we take a look at the late game power they have, Yanasties.
Oh, he's going in.
Having a really nasty angle. Gets the breath of the ocean and the rough waves to pick him off. Trevor jumps over the blazing duet. Now gets caught by Super Rival. Even despite the BMI back, he still gets taken off.
Again, how many times is Morocco going to do that? And a lot of the times it's just, you know, they know, again, the advantage that they have. They can force these situations, and Nigeria is just kind of left wondering, like, whoa, where is everybody coming from? And that's part of the lineup that Morocco has, too. And so you see them, they go and get what they want on the top side. They're going to rotate now for this Lord, take it, for the most part, freely. But, hey, they've got the information on Big Daddy Hades. Oh, Ayato?
With the Spear of Destruction, too. I'm not sure if they actually want to go for this Flicker Ejector. Finding him, and now straight into the Petrify. Ayato able to just throw out the spears, dealing damage. And you can already see with the items, that's the 3-item power spike that he got at the 9th minute. Nice. That's some crazy timers from Ayato.
At this point, objective secured. Big item picks up too. Yanasties. He's already doing so much damage. Now he gets the Divine Glaive locked in. And so that's the thing. You play around the fact that we can get a pick-off really easily between Yanasties and Albert Roasting. And now that they have this Lord here too, you know, they go ahead and work down the mid lane, playing around it. And just like we saw from the Tornado Ayato in the last game, man, they have not found an answer for it, you know, dealing with the pressure that he's able to put on. And I don't know, I feel like at every point, the Spear of Destruction has been finding its mark every single time.
Yeah.
And so it's the struggle here for Nigeria is how do we defend against this Lord pushing down the mid against a huge scaled up lineup, 10,000 gold ahead for Morocco.
Level 15 Super Rival with a VOD now, with the puncture coming down, able to get out with the Phantom Execution. Great maneuvers to escape from the Minas Fury, but in the bottom lane, Ayato again, the Tornado. Just going in, taking structures away, and that's a base turret with the first Lord.
First Lord already pushing into the base. They might try to get some more here. Albert Roasting, what's he gonna do?
Great zoning. Has the Unstoppable Force, but decides against it. Kenji walks up. Rockstar Alfie might need to fully push away. They don't just get one base turret, they get all 3. Punctures overall. Now from Super Rival, jumping back and forth. Trevor still able to push him back right now as Morocco might be looking for the end. It's Thorn Rose and Assassination. Trevor finding the kill. Now a dive into the back with a Petrify. Despite the Purify, still a pick-off here. Ayato getting a double. And now with the Spear of Destruction connecting again. Aizen dove under his own base. That's over for Nigeria in match number 1. It's Morocco taking it with a clean 2-0 sweep.
Morocco will do it. The home team here 2-0 in the series.